Quick note before we get started. I didn't realize on the first 2 or 3 things that the fan was pointed directly at the phone. So there's a lot of noise in the first probably minute, but it goes away once I realize the fan. Let's get into it. Well, hello and welcome back to Mod and Pop Thrift. My name's Tom. I'm a stay-at-home dad for my 5 kids. We have a baby on the way in late October, and I am gonna ship some more stuff out. If you watched the last video, I had 12 items that I said I was gonna ship, and then I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. Well, now they have to go today, and I already missed the mail because I didn't even get started, and it's almost noon. And then I sold like 5 or 6 more. So it looks like I have like 19 that I'll probably end up shipping today. One of them is this thing that is a Ninja Crock Pot. I like selling Ninja stuff because it's a sought-after brand. I don't know if it's quality or not, but it tends to be a brand that I can pick up reasonably cheap, and it sells fairly quickly and for decent money. This sold for $99. I think I paid $7. It sold for $99 free shipping. I probably had it for 2 months, something like that. We are eking alarmingly close to 700 subs, and we are eking alarmingly close where I started this conversation, where I started the sentence, to back to school, which, I mean, I'm excited about Q4. Yeah, we're in Q3 now. Getting sales back, you know, in gangbusters. But I'm not really excited about back to school because then the wife's off and I gotta take everybody everywhere they're going, and life getting back to normal. I like the summers. A lot of people are like, yeah, like, I don't know if this is true, but there's a lot of tropey internet people, you know, 90s commercials. Parents are ready to send their kids back to school. I'm not that way. I like having my kids around. I miss them when they're gone. I want my kids to be around. Like the other day, Grandpa took 4 boys fishing. Fantastic. I love it. I've never been fishing in my life, and now the boys have been fishing. Grandpa taught them how to fish, which is fantastic. But they were gone for like 6 or 8 hours. I was like, it's boring around here without a bunch of little boys yelling at each other. So a little bit of a complaint, just because I miss my kids when they're not here. And so, back to school, I'm not excited about back to school. I like having my kids around, and I suppose I could homeschool them, but I'm not smart enough for that. And my wife is an educator, so like, obviously we put a little stock in the public education system. That's not why you're here. You're here to hear about Ninja Crock Pots and a bunch of other things. So let's get into those things. This is not the kind of thing you can buy all the time at Casey's. It's 52-inch, big as my giant head thermos, and it is clean with the straw still inside of it, reasonably clean. There's a little bit of dust. And I paid like $2 or $3 for it at Goodwill. It's been listed a long time, but it sold for $22 plus shipping. Buyers all in at $30. It's been listed since February 15th. So, and I mean, it's enormous. It's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt to ship, but it's a fun thing. I picked it up cheap. It's sold for not cheap, I would say. That's probably top of what I would expect somebody to pay for that $30. How about Chris Webber on the bullets? I paid $25 for this. I might have paid $20 for this one, but the Washington Bullets haven't been a basketball team since the 90s. And this is a Chris Webber size 48, which equates to a men's large, I think. Maybe extra large. I don't remember. Anyway, I paid $20 a piece for a bunch of these jerseys. Sold one yesterday for like $60. This one I had listed for like $65, and went back and forth a lot with the buyer on offers. Eventually I did get him to pay $50. I wasn't going to give that thing away. It's way too cool, and it's way too valuable to sell it cheap. But I'm not trying to hold out for Holy Grail money. Holy Grail money on that thing would have been $75, $80. Because I think eventually in 2 years you might get somebody to pay that for it. But $50 is doubling up about on my end, and getting quick return. These blocks, we got rid of that fan noise. Color wood blocks. I paid $1.50 for these, and I counted them. They're all there, which is unusual, but it happened to be the case with this. And so these sold for $12.99 plus shipping. Buyers all in at $23. The reason that I tell you guys the buyer all in price is because like they paid $12.99 plus shipping, but like they also paid more than $10 shipping. And it's probably only going to cost me $6 or $8 to ship those. Matter of fact, we can do this. And so if it costs me $6, there's enough profit. The way I assume is that there's enough profit to cover the fees in the shipping. And so, yeah, it's going to cost me $6.07. And the buyer paid close to $10. Where does it? Buyer paid $8 and some. Buyer paid $8. It's going to cost me $6. So there's $2 on a $22 item. And so it's like that's not all the fees, but it eats a lot of the fees. I'm making $2 on the shipping and then paying fees on all of $23, which that's good. I feel like that's a semi-important piece of information, but it would take forever to break that down on everything. So when I say buyers all in on an item, it's because I'm assuming I'm making money on the shipping price. Peloton headphones. I don't know anything about these headphones, but I know that Peloton is expensive. So when I found this sealed box of Peloton headphones for $2, I didn't even comp them. I just picked them up. They sold for $13 free shipping. So I'm not hitting any grand slams with that, but also for $2 and taking a picture of a sealed box, it's pretty simple. Polaroid camera. This is a Spirit 600, and I had a 600 sealed case of film with it. Retrospect. Normally I don't tell you who bought my stuff, but Retrospect LLC. They buy a ton of stuff from me. They buy old broken Walkman and Polaroid cameras. And so for me, like, I don't assume there's a lot of people using Polaroid cameras. They don't sell super well most of the time. But when I know there is a company out there, Retrospect LLC, I think they're out of Wisconsin, that buys this old, particular pieces of old tech, I'm more comfortable picking up Polaroids, especially in nice shape, and Walkman in any condition, knowing that they're going to sell because Retrospect LLC exists. And I've never contacted them, but they are a repeat buyer a lot on my store. And so I appreciate them, and it's not like I'm doxing someone's personal information. You guys probably have noticed I don't put, like, I love Josh, Harry Tornado, but like when you watch Josh's show, if he has a sale that he's showing you, he'll show you the buyer's address. He just screenshots his screen and shows usernames and everything. I am much more particular about what gets on screen because I don't want somebody having my address because I bought something from a YouTuber. And not that I think that 99.99753% of people who are watching these YouTube channels would even notice or care. I just am more particular about giving that information out. So anyway, I don't normally talk about who buys stuff, but these people are buying at a good rate, and it's a business buying stuff. It's not a person buying stuff. So Cindy bought these Nate books. I would have paid 50 cents a piece for them. So 1, 2, 50, sold for $8 plus shipping. I like selling lots of vintage books in lots because it's easy. You take 5 or 6 pictures and they sell. Wrangler Pearl Snap. I called this a 3X in the listing, and it says it's a size 1935, not the year. The size, yeah, that's a good size Pearl Snap. Pearl Snap. I don't buy Western shirts unless they're Pearl Snap almost ever, unless they have something crazy on them. A Pearl Snap is way better than a button shirt. That's a vintage Wrangler tag. This sold for $14 plus shipping. Buyers only at $20, and it'll probably only cost me like $4 to ship this thing. Let's do that little exercise again. So buyer paid $14 plus buyer paid $5 shipping. It's going to cost me $3.81 to ship it. So I'm making about $1 on the shipping, which isn't going to cover the shipping fees or the selling fees, but I am making a little bit on the shipping. I just think that's kind of interesting. Not that you guys know the order, but we're going to do these out of order because I got 3 or 4 pieces of headwear all right here. Disney hat. I almost, like, when that sold, I was like, dang, I forgot I owned that. I should have just kept that. That is cool. It needs a little bit of cleanup before I ship it. I don't know what happened there. I'll probably just put some... If you just put tape on a lot of these kind of things, it will just peel off without... Just put tape on it, press it firm, rip it off, and it'll probably come off pretty easily. More Disney World. These are Minnie Mouse ears. Now, these were available from Walmart, so these are not like Parks ears, but I got them on a clearance at Walmart for like $2 a piece for 10 of them, and I thought I was doing really, really well. They sold for $14 free plus shipping, $14 plus shipping, but that's the only ones that have sold, and it's been forever. Like, I've had them for 2+ years. This Carhartt hat, look at this picture. This was one of my pictures to show that it's a youth hat. I wish this was a full-size hat. I would have kept it and worn it a lot. But it's not. It's a youth hat. There's no chance it's going to fit my giant head. Kind of looks like a train conductor hat. But it's cool vintage hat. But I paid $2 for it. Buyer paid $13 plus shipping. And then this one sold for $19 free shipping. This is a Dodgers hat. Under the sweatband, it says made in the USA. I don't pick them up unless not a 5950 anyway. 5950 refers to fitted New Era hats. That is what New Era calls their fitted hats. 5950 on field is a good line. And then if they're made in the US, then this is legitimately like the same as what the Dodgers would have been wearing on the field. This is could have just as easily been shipped to the Dodgers as shipped to me or shipped to whoever donated to Goodwill so I could get it. I paid $2.50 for that. Sold for $19 in just a couple of weeks. That one was pretty fast. And that's all the headgear, all the headwear that we have. Rex Grossman used to be a quarterback for the Chicago Bears. He was well thought of, as far as I know. It was well before I paid much attention to football. This sold for $16.99. Judah found it at Goodwill, so bought it for like $4.99, I think. Sold for $17 free shipping. I don't buy a lot of jerseys, but when my kids find something that I think will be profitable, even if it's not something I would normally pick up, I try to encourage them to keep in the game by buying the things that they think will be profitable that they find. So would I pick up a $17 Rex Grossman jersey for $5? Probably not. But Judah found it and he was like, dude, look at this one. And I was like, hey, that'll make money. Let's buy it. $11.99 for this kind of jersey style shirt plus shipping. I think I got this at Goodwill. It's got that vintage Nike tag. It's not US made. It's not that vintagey. It's Taiwan. It was probably Y2K. I have it listed as 90s. Maybe it is late 90s. And it's a cool shirt. Sold for $12 plus shipping. Not a home run, but a lot of my stuff is not home runs. This is a precautionary tale. Went to Ollie's, paid $5 a piece for Pokemon. Maybe they were $4 a piece for these Pokemon things. I never made money. I made a pack of 3 on the listing because there were 3 different SKUs and I just put them all 3 together. And so then I'm 15 essentially into them, and I listed them for $24.99 free shipping. So, and I always, anytime they sold on an offer. So like $22. Well, this time I got an offer for $24 and I'm like 99 cents off. That's not a big deal. I'll just accept that. And then after I clicked accept, I noticed that it said quantity of 2. So that's $12 a piece. If you get an offer on an item on eBay and it gives you the total, it's the total of the order, not the piece. So, and I knew that as soon as I saw that quantity too, I'm like, no! But I knew, but like when I looked at it, I was like, Pokemon, $24, yes. And then, so I just didn't look at it close enough. Do you guys see this fly driving me crazy? I knew that, I knew when I made that mistake that I should have known better, but I didn't. So watch out, because when that offer comes through, it's for the entire order. So will you sell 2 for $24 as opposed to 1 for $24? So I lost money on those. I never made money on any of that. Retail, I suck at retail arbitrage. I keep trying it, but I am not good at it. You guys may remember me picking this up. Boggle Vintage, very cool game. Me and Judah sat there and played it a handful of times while I was listing 2 of them. It sold for $14.99, and that's what I said. I think it's worth like $15 when I found 2 of them on the shelf at that same thrift store this week. So they it did exactly what I thought it would do, and it did it faster than I thought it would do it. $2 into 15 free shipping. Let's see what it's going to cost me. Going to cost me $6 to ship, so I'm 8, fees on 15. Let's call it $3.11. I spent 2 and I'll make 4. That's pretty good, really, but I'm making $4. So is it worth my time? To me it is, because it's assembly line. I'm taking pictures of 2 of these Boggle games and 14 other things. It's not like I need to take setup time with a photo booth and tear down time with the photo booth and making this listing and counting everything as it took me a half an hour to list that. It took me a minute in a series of minutes that I was already listing other things. So it's not like, that's the difference between why I consider myself full-time. Like, this is my job, to cycle things through and have an assembly where I can where it takes me 2 minutes to list that. If you're at the thrift store and you're part-time and you see that Boggle game, it's probably not worth your time to buy just that. And then you have this one item and you set up to take pictures of it, you list only that, and you put it on a shelf. Then that thing takes some time to do. But when I'm doing 50 items at a time, and really I do, like, I'll get like 10 or 15 items up a day. 10, 12, 15's probably pushing it. But if I But what I do is I get 30 items. I take pictures of all of them, and then I'll list 10 and get distracted and don't end up getting the other 10. So I do those tomorrow. A lot of times what I do is I'll have those on my phone, and when I wake up, my wife is an early riser, like 6 a.m. just because she feels like it. Woo! I am not. Like today I got out of bed at 9:30. The kids were all up doing stuff, and she was gone, and I'm like just sitting in my bed. But I had pictures on my phone that were things that I hadn't already taken pictures of. So I'm just kind of sitting in my bed, kind of like getting my bearings for the day. And I listed 4 or 5 things because I had the pictures on my phone. And then I'll list 4 or 5 things more, like I'll make lunch and then and I'll be sitting there eating and with the kids. And then when I'm gearing back up after lunch, I'll list some stuff and then come back out here to go to work and have them do some stuff. But anyway, when you take a million pictures all at once, then you have that back pile of work that you can do quickly without having it to take up a whole bunch of extra time. And the Boggle game is one thing that I just cycled through in 30 pictures that I was taking, and I had, if I'm doing 10 a day, it's 3 days worth of work because I spent an hour and a half taking pictures of 30 things. I think I've made my point. It doesn't take forever if you do it in bulk, and do it more than you're going to do right now so that you can steal a handful of extra minutes. On the toilet, you list 2 things. When you're at the drive-thru, you list a thing while you're waiting on that guy because he special ordered something. That kind of thing, if you're doing it on your phone, it makes life so much easier than trying to nail down an exact time. At least for my life, where I'm like always pulled in 100 directions because I have 5 kids. And a house to take care of. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I would like to say that, so I have to do dishes and vacuum and laundry. I wish that I was that guy, but my wife is cleaner than me, and so like we don't have tension about it. Just so you know, like my wife and I are crazy about each other, and we don't fight or have tension much ever at all, which is awesome. I think that like, whatever. The point is, she, even working full time, takes care of as much of that kind of stuff as I do, being a stay-at-home dad. And in my head, I'm like, I'm the stay-at-home person. I should be the bulk responsible for laundry and dishes and vacuuming and mopping and whatever. But she's like, dude, you have a small business you're running. You help take care of the kids. We can be a team on this thing. And she is better at it than I am on all of that. She's fantastic. Let me just take a minute and tell you how cool my wife is. Anyway, Foxfire. I had number 1 and number 4 and number 5. So I decided to sell 1 by itself for $12 and 4 and 5 for $24. 1 has not yet sold. 4 and 5 sold for $25. Free shippings. Narrow 2. How do you say this? In the comments, try to put phonetically how you say the name of this character. My kids say it different than I do. I say Naruto. Naruto? I don't know. Naruto. Judah's coming back with the lawnmower. He's mowing the neighbor's yard for a little extra money on the summer. I paid like $3 a piece for a whole bunch of video games. This one sold for $16. We already did the Dodgers hat. Yep, that's everything. All right, well, man, this video is going to be long. Thanks for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all the things that you do. We'll see you later.